Back-to-back doubles for Joey Manu, the 25-year-old superstar out there at right centre, and Sawali outside of him on the right wing, where he's played the last 3 weeks at New South Wales Cup level. So the Roosters get things rolling, and brought back here by Aaron Penne, making his first start. He's got a great record since coming into the NRL after all those games with the Storm as well. 11-3, his individual record in first grade, and he got the first touch today. Now it's Fanua Blake's turn. Right up the middle, and Warrior Hargreaves missed him. That's a matchup you're looking forward to today, Block.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And if he leads Jenny Geeing up, big Warrior Hargreaves, I reckon that Adrian Morley went in there for a little bit of a one-on-one rev up. He'll be off his chops here this afternoon.
Here's Curran, setting it up for the kick on the last from just inside their own half. Sean Johnson, the hero last week with that winning field goal. Down towards Tupou, operating on that left wing. Listen to the contact, the Warriors making their presence felt early, but it takes 4 to stop the winger.
Yeah, he comes up on the tip sheet week in and week out. You've got to try and stop their momentum. Their back 5, so powerful for the Roosters. Good kick downfield and good chase there from the Warriors.
There is Suwali's first touch back in first grade, still just 18 years of age, 6th game for him today. First time we've seen him since he did his Liz Frank in round 16 last year. Strong run from Warrior Hargreaves up over halfway. Hutchison the hooker again.
Yeah, I know Verrills is back into the side too on the bench, but Hutchison, he's got a nice passing game there from dummy half. Normally a half or a 5'8".
Down Keary this time. A good safe take on the wing from young Kosi.
Probably just saving Verrills now just to come on, but I can't wait to see the combination. He's a slick passer of the footy, reads numbers pretty well. Can't wait till he comes back for the Roosters.
The technician and craftsman we need, and Trent Robinson this week about Sam Verrills, who's back from a broken thumb. So copped that suspension in last year's finals. Did Sam Verrills. Absolutely spectacular Easter Sunday in Sydney. Crowd building all the time here at the SCG, bathed in sunshine as well in that Victor Trumper stand. And the Bill O'Reilly as Johnson tumbles this one down towards Tedesco, who was careful and well placed in the end. It sat up nicely for the Roosters #1, who tries to slice and dice out there on the right edge.
He's got the great ability, just skipping on the outside of players. That's a great start to that set there. There's a wobbly kick there from Johnson, but they're up around the halfway line already. Great carry there from Tedesco.
And Suwali off the back of it. Oh, early contact. Curran was up in the face of Warrior Hargreaves, and there's some collateral damage here. Johnson's in a bit of bother. Back to his feet now, but that's why the referee stopped play. He didn't like the way Johnson came out of this tackle.
What I like about Curran too, we mentioned how many tackles he made last week, but it's the contact. He's their main man, Warrior Hargreaves. Look at that, gets up out of the line. Very good at getting his bumper bars up too, Warrior Hargreaves.
Johnson found out the hard way, ran into one of those bumper bars, and there's the first concussion test. We wait to see whether another is required. Roosters rolling up the middle here, still 2 more plays. Radley through the dummy. There's a chance out there on the right edge potentially. And they stick out on that side. Double ricochets all over the place, and it worked out just fine for the visitors.
Coming away with something a little bit better than that. I think Keary was trying to rubber kick the ball in behind. A couple of ricochets, as you mentioned. The Roosters get the chance to rev up now their line speed. They've started this game really well, both teams.
Let's check on these conditions with Jake Duke. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Magic afternoon here at the SCG. A great day to celebrate the Roosters' 2002 grand final win. About 13,000 fans expected. The current team will look to honour them with a victory. They are hunting a 5th straight win over the Warriors, but this is a New Zealand team that's won 3 matches in a row now. Just one to watch in the conditions as we see a kick go up, boys. There's a bit of a swirling wind moving around this field, not particularly favouring any side, but that could play a factor here this afternoon.
Tupou took it nicely. And driven back by the Warriors, who timed their kick chase. And Gama playing at left centre after being on the right wing the last couple of weeks, but Suwali was schooled at the lower level to come back and play that position today. Strong run up over halfway from the birthday boy, Lindsay Collins. Gaining plenty of metres on each and every set. A chance to get attacking kicks away more often than not, the Roosters. And here's another one. A test for Reece Walsh. And it comes back the Roosters' way. Curran able to fashion a knock on against the Roosters and get the ball back for the Warriors.
Well, that's what you got to do with that high ball with Reece Walsh. Great runner of the footy, got plenty of speed, but under the high ball, not the tallest of fullbacks, got beaten on the jump there. The Warriors again stuck on their own line. It's been the story so far early in this game. Haven't got any sort of field position yet. They've toughed it out. Already completed 3 from 3. And on their way again, the Warriors.
Egan out of dummy half. Fanua Blake looking for a quick play the ball, but 3 in the tackle really slow him down. Johnson able to poke this one through the line, and the wingers were still up, so Tedesco has to get across and retrieve and turn back and face a wall of those Warriors jumpers. Good kick from Johnson. Able to turn these Roosters around, and there's still a few getting back on side here, and there's some hands on hips for the likes of Waria Hargreaves. Oh, Tupanua, little fumble. Able to regather just in time. Ready to put his hand up again, the enforcer. Crichton a starter today. First time we've seen him in a starting role since round 2. Keary just dropping one in behind, and this time Reece Walsh likes the way that one sat up for him. Tries to burn them off on the outside. Went crossfield and eventually picked off by Tupanua.
Yeah, 2 exciting fullbacks in the game. Tedesco and also Walsh there, just skipping on the outside. We saw Teddy Tedesco do it a little bit earlier in the game, but no substitute for speed. The Roosters inside the 10 metres just tried to jump a little bit quick off their line. And this is a great opportunity now. As I said, the Warriors have been battling to get out of their own half. They win the penalty, and they'll start the set in the half of the Roosters.
Nathan Brown will relish this chance to get up the other end. It was set for the opening 7 minutes, and then the first penalty of the game goes the way of the Warriors. Ziggy Zaklasa Adamski, the referee in charge today. So they start in Roosters territory. Get it centre field immediately. Chance to put a play on, quick hands, and they're on the outside here for Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, who didn't want to flirt with that touchline on play 1. Beautiful day for footy, and doesn't it show the way the Warriors went from one side to the other. Now Penne, centre field, setting up with numbers left, and they head that way. Short ball for Curran. Midway through the count, they go left side again for Walsh, and now Pompey. Tedesco hands on heads behind the line, sucking in the big ones at the moment. Still a warm day. 2 p.m. kickoff at the SCG. Fanua Blake going backwards and now going forwards and still going. Takes on the fullback who makes the try saver. Quick play the ball, and the referee says it's another penalty. How does he assess it? They say 10 in the bin required.
Well, Fanua Blake's the captain of the Warriors here, the Savo. He's going 10 in the bin there for Tedesco. Doesn't happen. It was a good tackle, but what about the speed of the play the ball from Fanua Blake there? Had support back on the inside. Looks like he's going nowhere. They really rushed him and corralled him. Skipped out of a couple of tackles. Look at the support just there. Back on the inside. Tried to take Tedesco on. Just held on a little bit too long. What a lot of people would have thought that might have been a sin bin.
That's the quickest playing the ball of the year, isn't it, Block? That was a world record pace from Fanua Blake. and a gift look at the opening points of the afternoon for Reece Walsh, who's going at 96% so far this year. And they'll have the shot at 2.
Gee, they're a much improved side. As you said, on the back of that penalty, they stripped the ball and spread it down that right-hand side. Martini Zelezniak looked a little bit, still a little bit wounded. He didn't get that full pace. He got on the outside of his man, skipped down. As you said, he stayed in field, but lacked that little bit of pace by the look of it. It's his first game back, but the Warriors look like they're going to open the scoring here.
Yeah,
good start.
Back from a broken thumb as well, Martini Zelezniak, so could have kept on with his fitness, but you also don't want to go into touch on play 1 and burn that field position. Reece Walsh, career rate 79%, but this year absolutely phenomenal. 15 from 16, now at his last 6. And that's the familiar routine. Left foot up, slams it through, and the Warriors on the board first. 10 minutes in. Jake Duke.
Yeah, what a start to the game by Adam Fanua-Blake. He's actually got the second most run meters this season by a forward, only behind Payne Haas, and he's been captain as well in the last couple of weeks, and it seems to be really agreeing with him, playing a really big role in that there. And obviously without Matt Lodge today, they need him to be performing like that against this Roosters side, and he's going to be a factor for the Warriors for many years to come. In the off-season, he signed an extension with the club that will keep him here until the end of 2026. So he will be a big factor for this Warriors team as they build over the next couple of seasons, and showing why he is so important to this side today.
Yeah, still just 26 years of age. This kickoff really deep, perfect for the Chasers to get there, and Greek Penne 5 metres out from his own try line. Beautifully weighted kickoff. And 2 tackles made, not yet outside their own 10 here, the Warriors. Pressure getting put on by the Roosters on their home deck. So often fast starters at this venue, but playing from behind now as Walsh just held on. Good tackle made by Walker out of marker. Almost slicing them up. Chanel Harris-Tavita, in the end he coughs it up, and the Roosters will get the ball back here. The young man coming off 3 Dally M points last week.
I was just about to say, very important when you play a side like the Roosters. Have got great line speed. After you score points, and they've kicked the first goal, the Warriors, you've got to complete and get to your kick. Harris-Tavita tried to get on his outside of his man there. And there's the lost possession and field position right now for the Roosters. That's what they do to you. They rush you with their defence. They cause the error there.
Stay in. Wait, tighter. Block off. Ball in. Stay in. Break.
Little fumble at the base of the scrum from Hutchison, and he knows it. No complaints. They give it straight back.
He nearly gave himself up at the back of the scrum there. A little knock on. A little bit of hesitation. Can you believe it? And there's the little bobble there. Really see the Roosters make those sort of mistakes. That's a fundamental one, that one at the back of the scrum. The Warriors breathe a sigh of relief.
All the angles covered to pick up that little bobble as well from the Fox League cameras. Outstanding work.
Brilliant, aren't they?
Zooming in between those legs to capture it all. The Warriors not punished for that mistake from their young 5'8". Blake again. Confrontation. 3 or 4 in his grill. Received that warning on his previous run inside the 20. Now Curran landing on his front. Looking for a quick play of the ball, and Egan will keep going left-hand side. They fancy it out there, the Warriors, and that tackle looked a little high. Fans groan, but it's play on. Hutchison was okay on Harris-Tavita. Now short side for Walsh. Inside the 20 again. Keep it in the hands for now. Johnson pumps a little kick in behind. It's travelling. Tupou played with fire, and it's a line dropout. The adjudication here. Little hand in there from Watene Zelezniak. Tupou's not sure about this one.
I reckon he might be saying that he got a little bit of a push, a little bit of a shove as he was letting that ball go dead in goal here. It's a perfect play. 2-pass runner, then the kick in behind. I know he's allowed to play at the ball like that. It's come off Tupou in the end.
So the bunker had a good look at that, just to clarify, of course. And there's no overrule from Alan Shortall. So brilliant adjudication from Casey Badger, who was right on the spot to touchy. Oof. Spat back out the other side for a brief moment, Penne. It's different to start a game in the front row than come off the bench, isn't it, Block?
It certainly is. You're right into the action straight away. But they've done the right thing here, the Warriors. A little bit of an ambush to start the game. They've got to keep going.
Lovely depth here. Pompey, man over! And the Warriors score the first try as well. It's young Kosi. Second try for him in the NRL, and what a start they've made at the SCG on party day for the Roosters, but it's the Warriors on top.
Well, they've done all the hard work, haven't they? This is a beautiful set play. Gone straight to Sawali's wing there. Just a cut-out pass. Geez, he had a start to the game, Harris DeVita, apart from that one error. They got the overlap. It was a beautiful pass from Pompey to Kosi, and he gets the try. Just got caught backpedaling there. Got caught for numbers. And what a start from the Warriors. I think they've surprised everyone. Kicked the first penalty goal, and now they've scored the first try.
Getting better each and every week in attack is the way Nathan Brown has read the way that his team has been performing throughout this young season. And that was beautiful execution to set it up for Kosi to go over untouched as they tested out that side that Sawali's come in on to defend on the right wing.
Gee, it's a great start from Fanua Blake. It must mean a lot to him to be the skipper of this side. He's already run for 65 metres already. Putting his hand up, he's nearly doubled everyone else on the field. It's a great start from the big front rower. Would have taken the challenge. We're Hargreaves. He's only run for 30 metres so far, so great effort from Fanua Blake. Both proud Kiwis taking each other on. It's going to get better as we go on in the afternoon.
The Warriors have taken on the Roosters here at the SCG twice before, 0-2 record. The aggregate 74-18. They've been pummeled. Last time they were here, Latrell Mitchell took over when he was still in Roosters colours with 2 tries and 5 goals. Right now, Reece Walsh lining up his second goal of the afternoon.
Playing a good style of footy too, aren't they? The Warriors tried to run the Roosters around. They've been successful so far. They've got to stick at it.
Walsh hits it sweetly again. Not a whole lot of breeze here today, and he's making the most of it. The Warriors 8-0 up. Jakey.
Yeah, Edward Kosey's just gone into this side, and he switched sides to accommodate the return of Dallin Watene-Zelezniak on this right wing. He moves over to the left wing, scores a try to get the Warriors their first try of the afternoon, and it comes off the back of Chanel Harris-DeVita playing at 5'8" for the Warriors. He's off contract at the end of the year and has been really strong to start the season for them. He's looking to impress, to see what kind of deal he can get for the next couple of years. There's so much competition in this Warriors team for half spots as well when you consider Nick Arima on the bench, Ash Taylor as well not playing. So a good start to the season and this game for Chanel Harris-DeVita.
And a young half from the Roosters reportedly signed by the Warriors on a 3-year deal to join those halves ranks in the years to come. Mistake made here by Penne.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I mentioned it a little bit earlier. When you're playing the Roosters after points, and that's virtually the first tackle. Penne has had a good start to the game, the young fella. And loses possession there. The Roosters go on the attack straight away.
Yeah, young Ronald Volkman, who's been tearing it up in the New South Wales Cup. Nathan Brown will have his services in the next 3 years, reportedly.
Let's get together, there's no clock here.
Saw what the Warriors did when they were gifted the ball back by the error from Hutchison, who's making sure he's got all eyes on the footy here and picks it up cleanly. And there's a bit of a Bronx cheer for him as well as Tupanua goes inside the red zone here.
Wait! Go, one. Don't hold it in there, Gilly.
Little set-up play.
Ewan, move!
Now they'll look to get in position. on this left-hand side. Right up the middle again goes Collins, making the Warriors' middles work defensively. Maria Hargreaves sweeps across to the left to play decoy. Pass hits the deck. The Warriors pounce. Is it clean for Arthurs? It was clean.
Penalty to Warriors, tackle first.
And now the penalty. Before he picked it up, he was tackled without the footy, so they can march up the field again.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Josh Curran in the backfield too for the Warriors. He's hobbling. He's in all sorts of trouble. Can ill afford to lose him. Just a little thing too, little things you've got to do. The 1%ers, a desperation to get on the ball there, to dive on that loose ball. Arthurs it was who got it. He already scored 3 tries this season, but just little things like that, desperation. There's Curran on the ground on his haunches, all sitting down now at the moment with what looks like an ankle injury.
Here's where it happened as he met Collins front on, then the little tweak. Debuted as a Rooster in 2019 before making the switch to the Warriors. Again, expansive on play 1 to get it centre field here. That time, there's no way through for the skipper. Reece Walsh chimes in again. Oh, he was over. And in space, if Pompey had delivered the pass to Kosi again. Real challenges for that Roosters right side at the moment, containing this Warriors attack that's playing with confidence. Little no-looker from Egan, and Curran ran into Collins again, those two going head-to-head at both ends. Now Johnson, out the back, made it tough on Arthurs, and knock on is the adjudication here.
So when you play that style of footy that the Warriors are playing, the clock just ticks over. Trying to play that expansive game, mistakes start to come because of fatigue. It's a pretty ordinary pass. It should have went out the back that time. Warriors, just the mistakes starting to creep in. I know they lead 8 points to 0, but keep turning the footy over like that.
So much adventure in the way they're going about it. Straight from the opening play on each and every set. And Curran soldiered on, took a hit up on that previous set, but I wonder whether he'll be able to go on long term here.
I reckon the coach will be wanting him to go on. He's been down a couple of times. A foa about to come on the field. Big Bunty, look at him. Monster. Curran is coming off now. He's hobbling off.
So Bunty Afoa, who was originally named to replace Matt Lodge in the starting lineup, will now provide the punch off the bench, and they'll continue to check on Curran.
Just lose that little bit of mobility when Curran comes off. As I mentioned, I think he's been their most improved player this season. Hope he can make his way back.
Sawali with 5 or 6 metres post-contact there. And they're up so quickly, the Warriors' defence. And the crowd appreciating the penalty going the home team's way here.
They haven't had any trouble getting down there, have they? The Roosters, with the drop ball and the penalties given away in the attacking zone, but they're defended their own half pretty well so far. The Warriors put under another test now.
What can they do off the back of their first penalty of the afternoon? Again, Collins just sets things up. 25 out centre field. Keary left side. Tupanua could have scored a hat-trick last week. Wound up with one very handy try in the come-from-behind effort against the Broncos. Keary again. The Walker. And changing up the angle. Runners in motion on that right-hand side, and Walker couldn't link up with any of them. The Warriors' defence well organised. Goal line defence really impressed their coach last week. Brown praised them for that. Tedesco, little kick in behind, sits up very kindly for Kosi, who ran behind her teammates and gets away with it. The boos ring out. Referee was okay.
Yeah, you got to wonder where the chase from the inside from the Roosters was there. Something a little bit different there from Tedesco. The grabber kick in and behind. Kosi cleans it up beautifully and makes a good run upfield too to start the set off well.
Jake Duke's already got the good oil on Josh Curran.
Yeah, we're just keeping an eye on him down here on the sideline, Speedy. They were about to put ice on that right knee that was troubling him. That would have effectively ruled him out of the game, but he refused it. He got back up. He's now on the bike trying to pedal that leg out and try and stay in this game. So not officially ruled out yet, but he was in a fair bit of pain. We'll try and get more of an update in a little bit.
And now maybe a head knock for Aaron Penne, who stayed down after this contact. That's Waria Hargreaves' arm that really hits him across the snout.
I think he's hit him across the nose there. It'll be a penalty, and I reckon he'll be on report here. He's trying to sneak away. Pretty hard to hide there, Jared. You've got him on the snoz.
You see my arms, I didn't cock it or
Jared, I agree. That's why it's not a sin bin. It's direct with minimal contact though, but it's still a high tackle and it is on report.
They're trying to talk him out of it, the ref there. I didn't swing it. I think he's pretty well right there. Pretty hard when someone's hit him underneath and they're falling like that. It's hard to adjust where you're going to put your arm. It wasn't a swinging arm. Penalty sufficient, I would say.
They're almost asking him to abort the tackle, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which front rowers aren't bred to do. Maria Hargreaves on report. He's no stranger to that. He was on report last week and was cleared to play here at the SCG today. 266th game for the veteran prop. Eli Katoa, great to see him out there again. The 22-year-old who is so often a starter on the edge. Ewan Aitken making a fist of that left edge roll, the former Dragon. Walsh links up with Bunty. And Afoa inside the 20. Look how eager the Warriors are to get their hands on the footy, right or left. And it's Johnson putting one in behind. Fanua Blake leading the chase. And another touch off the Roosters. Repeat set.
We saw a little while ago when they got the repeat set again. Johnson's kicking game on point. Fanua Blake cover the ground. He got across the ground quickly there. Bailey Sirinen also on the chase. They clean up at the back finally. It's Walker. Last time they were down here, they're playing pretty confidently, aren't they, the Warriors? They force another line drop out.
The bunker weighs in here. The Roosters fans were onto it. They thought there was no touch off Walker until the ball had gone dead. And that's the ruling eventually. On such small moments, games can flip, can't they? 7-tackle set rather than defending your own line again.
And they would have been pretty confident of what happened a little bit early when they got the try from the restart. So just going against the Warriors there.
Collins met by Katoa. Good early contact. Inside, outside, and the repeat set. 6 again, signal. Warriors all offside, and they were outside their 40 already, the Roosters, so that's why the 6 again was given. Now Radley running back into a shoulder or two.
Get up! Hold Bunty, wait. You're on top, Victor.
Keary now on that right-hand side. Little clunky. Tedesco received it a little late and was picked off nicely by Pompey. Little no-looker, and Tupanua was fooled by the no-looker. Couldn't hold on.
Gee, just trying to play that catch-up footy, aren't they? Again, it was Manu just running across field. The pass was horrible to Tupanua, who knocks it on. I think it's a frustrating defence here from the Warriors, not watching the Roosters what they're doing. They're getting up in their face, putting some pressure on them. It's been a solid start. Good solid contact from the Warriors.
Not going too far on this set just yet. The Warriors started on their 10, not yet outside the 20. Now Katoa tries to chime in on that front and does. 2 more plays to try and edge their way up towards halfway. Now, oh, brilliant defence, Nangama. Ball and all on Reece Walsh.
Tell you what, he had to make that tackle too. Followed his centre in.
Johnson on the last, took on 1 tackler and pumps it over the top of Tedesco. It takes a Roosters bounce. 7 tackle set again.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, the Roosters a little bit slow to get behind the ball. And here's a replacement. Rura Hargreaves off.
On comes Butcher. Another who was listed to start today. Dropped back to the bench along with Verrills. Great energy here from the Roosters as they look to find their first points. Great to see Sam Verrills out there for the first time all season. Haven't seen him since last year's finals. And aren't they in the face of Manu? Haven't let him explode yet. The informed right centre for the Roosters. Verrills service out in front of Walker. Tedesco holds it up for Nangama. Chance for an attacking kick here as they look to Walker to go crossfield. Sawali gets there, times it. And a knock-on spotted against the Warriors. It will stay with the Roosters.
Not a bad target, Sawali. Look at that leap. Gets himself up high. Must have come off Paris Tavita. In the end, it looks like it's going to be the Roosters who'll get the football back. And this is what they're good at, mounting pressure. Get the ball back and away they go again.
Beautiful timing on the leap from Sawali. Helped create that error. And they look to capitalise immediately from the scrum here, the Roosters. Tedesco holds it up, catch and pass. Tupou in the corner. How is that execution from the attacking scrum? The Roosters have their first points.
Yeah, I think the money ball was there from Naguama. I thought that was a great pass, the catch and pass in one movement. Tedesco just dug into the line. How many times have we seen it? The finishing of Daniel Tupou. Here it is. Just holds the ball up. That's a great pass. Catch and pass there from Nangama. Pretty to watch too, aren't they, the Roosters? Once they get their flow going, Tedesco in to make the extra man. Tupou over for his 4th try of the season.
Try number 121 for the 30-year-old winger. And that puts him alongside Sean Kenny-Dowell, equal 2nd all-time on the Roosters try scorers list. Casual one-hand take as well. No problem at all for the giant winger.
He did well there, Tedesco too, the captain of the Roosters. The way that he held the ball up and just look what the defence was doing. Just hung off him, he just took that extra couple of paces. And the Roosters finally get into the groove. Been a little bit sloppy to start this game. 4 errors so far. This might get them going.
Only Tupou's 2nd try in his last 11 games against the Warriors. That is a surprise when you think of all the scores they've put up against this opposition, particularly in the last 4 wins against them, that he celebrates with the meat pie today. Makes it tough on Walker. Goal kicking's been a bit of an issue for the Roosters. He's going at 57% in his career. A clutch conversion last week against the Broncos that he really celebrated from wide on that right-hand side up at Suncorp. You can ride it home with the Fox League cameras again. The teenager from the touchline strikes it just perfectly, and it's back to a 2-point ball game. Jake Duke
Yeah, you speak about Daniel Tupou's try-scoring record. Speedy. He's now just 18 tries behind the club record leader, which is, of course, Anthony Minicello, who is here today. We saw him do the lap of honour with the 2002 grand final winning side. And Tupou, he's not just a try scorer, he's in the top 3 for runs and run meters this season, and that's what Coach Trent Robinson says he loves most about his game. The work he does in their own end, bringing this side out of trouble. He says it counts for so much more when they get down the field and get this Roosters side into attacking position, but he is a brilliant finisher as well, and he gets try 121.
This game set up beautifully. Approaching half-time, an important final 10 minutes before the break as Collins is met by Katoa. And the Warriors pick him off inside the 10. Tupou off the back of his try, looking for early work. There's Butcher with fresh legs. Now getting involved again here, looking for a penalty late in the count. Good tackle by Harris Tavita, whose defence was exceptional last week, helping him claim those 3 votes in the Dally M medal race. Walker tumbling it down. Awkward bounce, it could have been, but it went straight towards Kosi.
Yeah, that was a great defensive set there from the Warriors. Can't afford to let the Roosters score back-to-back tries, but there was some power tackling in that. Verrills tried to go up from dummy half and was cut short. Hardly made any yardage, and it's a good win now. The second tackle, they're nearly on the halfway line.
And a miraculous recovery from Josh Curran, boys. He's back out there now. He was almost done. He almost had the ice on the knee, but he's rode that out on the bike, and he's back out there for the Warriors.
Amazing. Such an important player for them. Great defender in the middle. Tighten things up again after they copped that try while he was off sorting out that leg. Johnson hangs it up. Reece Walsh was right off his left shoulder and gets there to challenge Tedesco. The 2 fullbacks head to head, and Tedesco comes down with it.
It's so good when they compete for the ball like that. Reece Walsh would have liked his chances there.
Don't forget, it's a doubleheader on your Sunday ticket. The Dragons against the Knights coming up next. There'll be a big crowd down in Wollongong for that one, and then Sunday night with Matty Johns right after that one. Fletch is going to turn up for that. Plot, you think you get the night off?
He looked a little bit dusty when I saw him earlier this morning, but anyway, he's a trooper. He'll be there. He's
shaped up beautifully for the live cross during the lap of honour with Lara and the boys back in the studio as that kick goes out on the full. And Verrills and Walker it is who's made the error here.
2 markers, change over.
They've been enthusiastic with their defence too, and just little things I mentioned, just chasing down the kickers. Just put him off a little bit there. Kicks out on the full. Only 5 missed tackles from the Warriors in the first half as opposed to 9 from the Roosters, so it's been a quality game. No offload so far in the game. So a bit of a war through the middle. It's been entertaining.
Yeah, that mistake coming from Verrills, who practiced that thing in the warm-up and had his bearings right in the warm-up, but things change under the pressure. Once you're rolling game time, and look at this field position on offer off the back of that error. And the Warriors capitalise once more as Harris Tavita pops one out the back. Nowhere to go for Aiken. He keeps it alive. Walsh, they're going backwards here, the Warriors. Slick pass for Kosi. He wants to go backwards as well. And they cough it up. It was a horrible play. They refused to die with the footy, and in the end, gift it back.
I tell you, the best thing about the Roosters' defence there is they stayed up. They didn't hesitate. They didn't go back. They didn't get caught flat-footed. They force the error again there from the Warriors.
File that one away if the Roosters go on to score here and turn it around before half-time. Baker on for Collins. Pass right in front of the playmakers. The halves combine. Tupanua. He's put under pressure by his halves, isn't he, with some Tough balls to hold on to. That time he did.
Well, it looks like he's just trying to pick out Sean Johnson there on the right-hand defence. 3 in for the Warriors. Tupanui. Johnson's done a great job so far.
Great pick-up. Cozy, can he get out of there? He can, and he was caught high as he ducked low trying to get back into the field of play, and the Roosters defenders say, what can I do?
Contact from Victor Radley direct with the head.
So Radley is the offender here, and the referee wants a closer look at it.
Yeah, hey, whoa. It's being reviewed.
Come on, he slips over here. What's he going to do? Changes direction, slips
He's
over.
end up in the hands of the trainers. Just take your time. In the in-goal. If you can
How
help
they
this,
think you can just all of a sudden, when you're going at that speed, like Radley was trying to keep him in the in-goal area.
Well, let's just wait.
Slips over, throws an arm out.
He's very low to the ground.
That's the referee saying he's very low to the ground. He was so low to the ground because in that situation, just looking to dive almost like he's scoring a try at the other end just to get over that line and ensure there's no repeat set.
Thanks, mate.
And Radley's going at the rate of knots too, just trying to force the opposition in the in-goal area. Watch how fast he comes in. Don't know what he's supposed to do there.
Another Rooster on report, joining Maria Hargreaves. There's Victor the Inflictor. Trent Robinson hoping neither one of those players is rubbed out of next week's contest, the traditional Anzac Day encounter. Right here at the SCG against the Dragons. The Warriors also playing on Anzac Day against the Storm down in Melbourne.
Always a big game, Anzac Day.
Watch it all on Fox League.
Wait for the tap.
After the delay, Cozy has been checked.
Let him up now on the line. Hold. Just wait. Hold. Go. Stand now. Wait.
There's Curran, who's made the miracle recovery here to play on. Cozy has left the ground, so without Marcelo Montoya for the next month after he was suspended for last week's actions. And here's Johnson. Again, down towards Tupou or Tedesco. It's the winger who leaps for it. Good safe take from Tupou as we check in with Jake again.
Yeah, good news for the Warriors with Edward Cozy going off there for that HIA. We'll check on him, but Aaron Penne has passed his HIA and he will be about to re-enter this game.
So much going on in this first half as Sawali must watch every time he gets the footy. Hasn't busted them yet.
They're trying to see him in open space.
Keary kicking with an extra tackle up his sleeve to get it past Walsh and turn the Warriors around here. Hop, skip and a jump, and there was nowhere to go.
Stand now, Angus. Hold. Wait.
Still 4 Warriors working their way back on side here. And clever kick from Keary.
Yeah, I reckon he's just summed that up too, Keary. At the back end of the half, the Warriors starting to get a little bit tired. Kick early in the tackle count and deep. They're just getting behind the ball now.
Something that Brad Fittler talked about in reflecting on that 2002 grand final. Kicking long and early and turning those Warriors forwards around has always been the game plan against this team from across the ditch, based out of Redcliffe, of course, this season. And looking forward to a game back in New Zealand in early July for the first time in a long time. Again, kicking to Tupou's wing. Shaded by the light tower here at the SCG.
They might have gone on the other side there to Suwali. Try and put some pressure on the young fella. Only a handful of first-grade games, but a more experienced Tupou, like Shell and Pease, done it easy.
But they negate his run meters a little, don't they, when they can kick it to him and time that kick chase. See that a lot with certain wingers. Corey Oates, another at Brisbane, who gets targeted with those kicks repeatedly. Butcher up the middle. Hard-earned metres on offer there. Pump down the middle again. Bouncing ball.
Well, they've got a new resolve in their defence, haven't they, the Warriors, this season? They're talking about their big improvement of the team. I reckon it's their defence. Tackled so well in this game, and then Johnson gives them that little bit of variation in their kicking, and also once he runs the footy, so a lot better side.
The Pompey's gone to the wing. Aitken to centre out there on the left-hand side. Curran, such versatility as well, can go from the middle to an edge when called upon. That's how the reshuffle is shaken down here as Penne forces one out the back, tidied up by Watene Zelezniak, running behind teammates, and the Roosters say, can we have a penalty, please? The referee turns a blind eye to that one.
Just lost their way a little bit since Vanua Blake, the captain's, been on the sideline. He made those inroads down the middle.
Quick hands again on that right-hand side. He's threaded the needle somehow. Jesse Arthurs, they'll take that, the Warriors, with 70 seconds left in the half.
And they'll take their time to get to the scrum too. A lot of hands on heads here from the Roosters. They've been put to the test in the first 40. He's leading by a couple of points.
Halftime show coming straight up with Lara Pitt, Corey Parker and Shane Flanagan to review all that has gone on in this first 40 at the SCG, and your double header on this Sunday ticket. Dragons v Knights a little later on. So the Roosters chance their arm here, looking for points and the lead before half-time. Only 2 or 3 more plays max. And here comes Keary, left-hand side. Adventurous to Tupou. And Watene Zelezniak marshalled him. Tedesco nowhere to go, and the Warriors' defence again seeing this one through. Short ball. Delightful link up from Baker in the middle of the field. Again, 4 Warriors involved in that tackle, and the siren about to sound here. That'll do us an absorbing first half of footy. And the Roosters fans stay in their seats and think we've got to turn around in this second half, because the Warriors lead it 8 points to 6.
I think it was a little bit quiet in the first half, only because of the good defence from the Warriors.
A New Zealand boy who the Warriors wanted to lure across the ditch last year, but he stuck with the Roosters, signed a contract extension through to 2024 to Joey. So Walsh powers this kickoff. It is going a mile. He's done that before already this season, and he's done it again. And the Warriors and their coach Nathan Brown hopes that doesn't set the tone.
I didn't think the breeze was that big down there. It's a beautiful afternoon, but you give that a fair whack. Not the start they wanted. It's a fundamental error there to kick the ball dead in goal from the kickoff. And an easy walk the halfway line now with the kick for touch. Not only the penalty, it's where you start your set now on the 30-metre line. The Roosters will be hoping for a good start here with the first set.
Tupou was setting up for the old touch it with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and said, oh, don't even bother. It's sailing. And look where they start here. Play one, and right on that 20-metre line from the Warriors kickoff. And they set up a big line on that left-hand side. Radley sets them up, and Walker is calling the shots. Ball jolted loose. Gift 2 points here to level things. Oh no, forget about it. You can't go quickly in that situation, and they can still think about the 2.
You just see the mindset of the Roosters now. No, it's only the start of the second half. It's right in front, 10 metres out. Will they level the scores here? Yeah, they're going to take the 2. That's a lot of respect to the Warriors' defence here this afternoon.
Clear hand in there from Wade Egan.
Yeah, hands all over the ball. Fair enough penalty. We've seen a lot of ball playing so far from Victor Radley too. I know he's had 6 hit-ups for 54 metres, but it's certainly that ball movement that we got used to seeing from him. And this should be a gift 2 points to start the second half for the Roosters.
And knocked over a brilliant touchline conversion. Off the Tupou try did Walker. And now right in front to make it 8 points apiece. We're all locked up in Sunday afternoon footy. Jake Duke, what do the coaches have to say?
Yeah, Trent Robinson was all about discipline. He said the 6 agains, the high shots, keep letting the Warriors out of their own end. He wants his side to clean that up and also tighten up their defence. They had 13 missed tackles to the Warriors, 7 in the first half, and they also conceded 3 line breaks to 1, so that was a big message for him. Nathan Brown was all about concentration. He said his side slipped up and let the Roosters back into that match, so he wouldn't be happy with the first kickoff of the second half that let the Warriors even up that score. And just so you know, Edward Kosi is back on this left wing. He has passed his HIA for the Warriors.
Very safe kickoff this time around, and they can bring it back outside the 20 through Tupo. Placed the ball in a different manner, did Reece Walsh, for that kickoff, and now they give away the penalty on play 1.
I suppose the instructions from the coach would be put Tupou on the ground. He's got that great ability to be able to stand in tackles, but they went on with it a little bit too long. First kick out the ball, dead in goal, the Warriors, then give away a penalty. Not a great start to the second half.
The wide expanses of the SCG have seen the ball take a little while to come back after those touch finders for the Roosters on the last 2 sets. Saw how eager Tupou was to get them rolling on this set, as Crichton powers them up on that right edge again. Butcher finds Walker, back on the angle. Tupanua had a bit of space before meeting the defence that time. That hasn't happened too often for him this afternoon. Now the halves combine. Keary puts it out in front of Joey Manu. A rare touch for him. Flips it out the back to Suwali, and some of the Warriors defenders weren't ready. Fortunately for them, Curran was, and affected what was a try-saver on the teenager. Keary for Walker again. Little kick in behind and tidied up by Walsh. It looked on, an angled kick, and I reckon it might have worked out for the Roosters, but Reece Walsh got there.
Yeah, he was in beautiful position there, Reece Walsh. Just something a little bit different from Luke Keary there, the kick in and behind. That was just good play there from both players. And Walsh cleaned up, he was right on the spot.
Penalties coming thick and fast at the start of this second 40.
That one's for a little bit of a crusher tackle there. Watini Zelezniak there just got caught underneath on the way down. They should just bring him out there. The Warriors get their first penalty of the second half. Look at the way that Manu can get the ball away with traffic. Just a little slip over the top.
Just a penalty, we're good to go now, Sean. Thanks, mate. Stay behind, Aaron.
Yeah, there was a danger that the Warriors could have given up on that. Only 1 or 2 defenders knew that Manu had popped this out the back to Suwali as Wateni Zelezniak came in, left his winger outside him, and they got to Suwali just in time.
First real time we've seen that combination of those two on that right-hand side, Manu and Suwali. Let's hope we see plenty more of it.
A chance for the Warriors to settle down with some good field position of their own. Back of that penalty earned by Wateni Zelezniak, and there's Bailey Sirinen. Played a terrific game last week.
He does a lot of cleaning up work for the Warriors, doesn't he? He gets in and rolls the sleeves up with his defence.
Walsh looking lively as ever. Egan has a glance right, then left, and he will go to the open side for Curran, who slipped as he looked to pass and held on. So they burn a play there. Now onto the last for Walsh to keep it in their hands. Can they get a kick away? Tried to invent one, Pompey. Left it behind for the Roosters. And now the touchline is lurking. And how well did he do there? Luke Keary to stay in.
Well, how did he stay in field there? Luke Walsh had a good hit on him there. Should have thrown him into touch, but as you said, that's brilliant play there.
Keary immediately looked for support. He couldn't find it, and Reece Walsh fell off at the wrong time, but they've coughed it up inside their own end anyway through Radley.
That's the 6th error there from
Scrum Warriors.
the Roosters. Very un-Rooster-like. Poor passing from the dummy half area. He didn't really give him that much of a chance. I think it was Victor Radley that came away with the error there.
Work in, guys. 15 seconds.
Trying for the cutout ball.
Work in. Wait, need a number. Wait, need
In a great interview on NRL 360, Trent Robinson this week talked about getting those combinations right. 8 to 10 weeks is the time frame that he wants to get everything purring along for his team, and that'll take them towards the business end of the season. But they enjoyed a great fortnight in Queensland, knocked off the Cowboys and then the Broncos, and now come back to their home patch, the SCG, and they've got a game on their hands. As Curran is picked off again by Crichton. Flicked out the back here for Johnson, and no way through on that right edge. Lovely legs tackle from Tupanua on Sirinen. Harris DeVita tries to set it up for Ewan Aitken. Roosters defence sturdy so far on this set as the ball hits the deck out the back. Johnson says to Sirinen to set us up.
Satilli, move now.
Slow play the ball. Back to Harris DeVita. Walsh goes to Pompey. No chance of getting on the outside of Joey Manu. Just monstered him in defence as he's done so often. Harris DeVita. Not a great set from the Warriors. Can they finish it in style? They'll get another fresh set here. And it's play on for the Warriors. Knock on off the Roosters. And Penne cleared of that HIA, as Jake Duke reported.
You've got to be good enough to capitalise on this.
The attack was sparkling for their only try so far. Finished off by Kosi. Can they click again here, the Warriors, as they get another set restart here? Roosters going to have to withstand about 13 or 14 tackles if they get away with this one. Short side, lovely play, big hole opened up, and it comes loose. Fletcher Baker has come up with a try saver on Reece Walsh, or has he?
Well, as Fletcher Baker stripped the ball out, that's what we're going to have a look at here.
Got a knock on from the Warriors here. I need you to go back and check the contact, make sure it's high. We have a penalty on field for the contact. Then make sure if it's not a knock on, if it's stripped out, how it's grounded.
The Warriors look like they're going to get a penalty here for sure by the sound of that, for a high shot. Reece Walsh just sneaks around the back with the second man play. Afoe was right, he didn't take anyone out. Just a bad read.
It's a defensive decision by Sam Walker in the lead up to the play, playing onto this point.
Nothing on the high front, is there?
I think it's fine.
Just trying to find the footy, isn't he, Fletcher Baker?
Well, does he strip the ball
There's no
out?
high contact by the Roosters player playing on to this point.
So it falls into the one-on-one strip category.
Just looking to determine if there's a knock-on by the Warriors.
Interesting. What does Jesse Arthurs do at the end of it all? Because it might be backwards off Reece Walsh and kicked out of there by Fletcher Baker. It might just be a try.
Strip by the Roosters. Reece Walsh loses the ball in the field of play. We have a decision.
They're saying Reece Walsh knocked it on.
Gee, I thought the ball was stripped there by Fletcher Baker. And stripped out of his hands, which went backwards for the Roosters. Lucky not to get a try there.
The easy call for the bunker is to say when the ball comes loose it's to knock on, but there'll be Warriors fans screaming at their TV set, saying that's gone backwards, and then Baker's the one who's made it go the other way.
Yeah, he stripped it out of his hands by the look of it, from what I could see anyway.
Nathan Brown was holding his breath too, hoping they might get a try out of that. Instead, it's Roosters' ball. And now the penalty. And sliding doors all over the place in this second 40 so far.
It's been a sloppy start from both sides, hasn't it? Both sides haven't been able to settle down. Made all. It's a real contest. Really enjoyed the collisions and the defence from both sides. I think it might open up a little bit here at the back end of the game.
Fantastic touch finder from Keary, and the ball kid was all over it. The Roosters are rolling here in search of the lead. Keary, Tedesco couldn't link up with Nangama that time, as he did for the lead up to the Tupou try in the first half.
Kept him pretty quiet, haven't they? He's only run for 65 metres, which is down for Tedesco.
Real depth here, and they look to put Butcher through a hole. Still want to come right. Both halves are out here. Keary and Walker. It's the 7 putting Crichton. He thought through a hole, but there wasn't a whole lot on offer there, and the Warriors' defence again exceptional.
You mentioned a little bit earlier how Nathan Brown was very happy with their on-goal defence. They threw a little bit at him that time, the Roosters. Curran's down again. Thought he was going to run straight over the top here. Winded by the look of that one.
Right into that area where some players wear the breastplate protection as well.
Yeah.
Like the head of Crichton almost contacted that sternum area.
You see a lot of the big boppers wearing that chest pad, but I liked his chances here. I think it was a head right into the sternum there. It's got to hurt. A gutsy defence from the Warriors.
Gives everyone a chance to get their breath back and set themselves up for the last half hour or so here at the SCG.
He's been in the wars, hasn't he, Josh? Ankle injury earlier on in the game. He's up and about now. Tough fella.
Headgear stays off for now, but looks like he'll stay out there. Ball security a priority here for the Warriors coming out of their own end. Pompey putting his hand up. Fresh legs in the dummy half roll now with Nikorima. There was a try scorer last week when a big hole opened up against North Queensland. Bunty Afoa. And it's been pretty good go forward here on this set. Here's Curran. Keeps on putting his hand up, but there wasn't a whole lot of go forward there for the lock forward for the Warriors. And now Walsh looks to get a spiral torpedo going, and Tedesco got down low and took the bouncing ball out of the equation.
Stand now, add in 1 step. Milking,
Fantastic take as he got down on his knees to make sure of it. There's Fletcher Baker. 21 games into his career. 194 centimetres, 107 kilos, and a try saver a moment ago. Baker and then Butcher. Oh, Radley managed to juggle it and find it. And Tedesco looked up and found no way past Nikorima and Fanua Blake. 30 out, Keary hangs it up. Off the wing, Martini Zalesniak stayed grounded and coughed it up. Try coming up here for Kevin Nangama. And the Roosters lead it for the first time at the SCG, approaching the midpoint of this second half.
Well, they needed a little bit of luck, didn't they? Up went the high kick there from Luke Keary. Nangama is the man that gets the ball and gets the scraps and scores the try there for the Roosters. Watini Zalesniak that came in to try to take the ball on the full. Was competed there by the back rower in Tupanua. The ball bounces out. It's a lottery when it goes up like that. They attack the ball. Ball's on the ground. Scoops it up. Passes on the outside to Nangama. That is a try to the Roosters.
That's Fletcher Baker again, sensing the opportunity, scooping the ball up off the deck and immediately finding Nangama on the outside. Brilliant skills for a big man. Look at that pass. Off the error of an opponent, you can get it to the wide men as quickly as possible, and you might just come up with a 4-pointer on that play.
And we were talking about how good the Warriors' defence has been. The Roosters have had to resort to a kick and hope. Went their way that time. They scored against the run of play there. The Warriors' defence has really put the pressure on the Roosters. Got to make sure that they don't go back to back now, the Warriors. With their defence been so good here this afternoon. Tough conditions. Right, pretty warm down there.
The versatility and depth that Kevin Nangama gives the Roosters in those outside backs. Scored his first try as a right winger, as a Rooster a couple of weeks ago, and now at left centre adds another. 116th game in the NRL and all that time in the Super League with St Helens as well. Man of the match in a grand final over there with St Helens, and he set up this conversion attempt for Walker to try and make it a 6-point margin. And he knocks another one over, does the teenager, and it is a converted try, the difference. He received his matchday jersey today, the number 7, from Craig Wing, the premiership halfback 20 years ago. Jake Duke.
Yeah, Kevin Nangama, what a return to the NRL he has put together so far this year. 33 years old. He said when he was playing in the NRL for 3 other clubs, he always was fascinated by the Roosters and the Roosters culture and always wanted to see what it was like on the inside. He gets his chance now, and it looks like there's a big group of his family up behind us here in the stands. They just went wild when he scored that try. One thing to keep in mind, boys, is the breeze down here is really starting to pick up, and it's coming from behind the Roosters. You see them putting in some really good kicks for touch, and that kick there that led to that try. So it is really favouring them at the moment when it picks up.
That's probably why Reece Walsh thought that he could pump that kick off as far as he wanted to at the start of this second half, and somehow into the breeze it travelled too deep. Just the correction, Walker would have received his jersey from Brad Fittler, the premiership winning captain who was in the 6 on grand final day, and Craig Wing would have handed the 7 over to Keary. They were the halves in 2002, October 6. Short side numbers. Tedesco runs away from them though. Throwing dummies, and Aitken hops on his back.
You can just feel them lift a little bit now, the Roosters. That was a real quick set from them.
Again, that kick towards Wateni Zelezniak looking into the sun. That time he took off, and in mid-air, it's an easy call.
He's in the
well
air,
done,
makes
they get the
contact in
penalty
air,
too.
that's the ruling.
Tackled without the ball and came down with it. It's a courageous take after dropping the last one. Tupanua it is who's penalised, trying to take him out in mid-air.
If he jumped for the ball and had his arms outstretched, he's okay, but he bailed out there, Tupanua, and went right under Wateni Zelezniak, and that was dangerous for the Warriors winger.
I hope they play that open style of game we saw in the first half here from the Warriors. So exciting, but fatigue starts to set in. They've got to keep playing, they've got to keep coming at the Roosters here.
Keep it locked on Fox League. Dragons against the Knights next. We'll be there for kickoff down in Wollongong. Big crowd building there. And then Sunday night with Matty Johns, all on Channel 502. Aitken inside the 40, he goes. And the Warriors bounce back and come from behind. It was try for try in last week's game against the Cowboys. What a pass that was. Johnson somehow finding an avenue to Sirinen. And now he's out on that right-hand side again, SJ, to hang it up. Wateni Zelezniak coming. So too is Walsh. What a challenge it was against Tedesco. And they pay for a penalty for the challenge. It's not for that. It's for the slowdown of the play the ball from Jesse Arthurs.
Gee, he attacks the football well, doesn't he, Tedesco? At the back there for the Roosters. That was a good set there from the Warriors. A nice run from Bailey Sirenen on the right-hand side, hitting the ball at pace. They need to throw a little bit more at the Roosters if they're going to win this game. 22 to go.
Inside the Warriors half. Go the Roosters. Crichton, willing runner again. Somehow able to keep his feet through all of that and get the play the ball he's after. Nikarima called out of it. Walker looking for options, dragged down eventually by Curran inside the 20. Double pump. Oh, Tedesco flicked it out and somehow try-saver is made on Tupanua as the pass missed Nangama, who would have been over untouched. Keary to go crossfield. Out towards Sawali, who climbs above everyone, and the Warriors played it cleverly defensively.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? A couple of times they've been broken up in the midfield, and they've made telling tackles, the Warriors. A lot more resolve to their side this season. Big improvement. There's the double pump. Tedesco with the offload. Had Nangama got the ball, you're right, he would have been in.
A double pump from Keary to then link up with Tedesco, and the next play he's going crossfield. Sawali's such a weapon, but he needed a teammate running off him there back inside. Out of their own end again go the Warriors, and Kosi going sideways, picked off.
Just waiting for Nikarima to get a quick play the ball. Got brilliant speed out of dummy half, normally a half, but just needs to get that one opportunity.
Vanua Blake greeted on the 20-metre line by Radley and Butcher and sat down on his backside. There's Nikarima scouting for that quick play the ball, and metres out of dummy half that Blocker was anticipating. And there'll be some pressure on the kick here on the last from inside their own 40. Johnson says, give me some protection. And the big bopper's obliged. Tumbles it down, and Tupou didn't want to get there on the full like Tedesco did a moment ago.
Yeah, that's a good run, isn't it? He was met by three Warriors defenders there, and Tupou kept the legs pumping and a quick play the ball. He made an extra 5 metres. Great start for them. And here the collisions out there. Some tough stuff here this afternoon from both sides.
Radley ball playing, and again Nangama running that angle off Keary's pass. They want to keep working over that Warriors defence on the right edge. Tupanua popping it out the back for Tedesco. Dragged down by Arthurs, but another offload for Saluka Fafita. Short side again. Walker spinning his way through, and Arthurs saves the try, does he? No, Walker is celebrating.
No,
he got it down. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good strength shown by the young fella there, Sam Walker. They've been hanging on for the last 5 minutes, the Warriors. We mentioned their goal line defence has been good, but this time Walker's too good. A little bit of footwork, slams the footy down, shows good strength. They love those short side raids, spins out of the tackle. Should never have been able to score there. Jesse Arthurs is the one that can't make the tackle. Spins away from Johnson, slams it down. And the Roosters go back-to-back for the first time in this game.
3 months old when the Roosters won that 0-2 premiership. Sam Walker with a phenomenal move to spin his way through Sean Johnson, and then the put down, he just had the finger on it.
Yeah, he did well, didn't he? Just to guide that ball down. No separation there. Walker scores. matter of time before they were going to get going. They love those short side raids, don't they, the halves of the Roosters, and Keary and Walker. And Walker gets the spoils.
His career being fast-tracked by Cooper Cronk. He was part of that panel with Trent Robinson during the week on NRL 360, talking about what he's working on with this young half. Not just scoring tries, but defending them at the other end. What a future in the rugby league family. The 19-year-old on the rise, and he's already into double figures now on the try-scoring front. The 27th game in first grade today.
To see young blokes like that back themselves. It was a crucial try too for the Roosters. They're starting to get a fair bit of a lead now. It all started when the Warriors started the second half and kicked dead in goal out in the full from the kick-off.
Perfect today with the boot. Got the try and the 3 from 3 so far. To finish off his own work, make it 4 from 4 with the boot, and suddenly the Roosters have opened up a margin. 12 points up on this special day for the club.
Yeah, these two teams actually met on Easter Sunday last year, and it was Sam Walker's debut game. He had a blinder that day as well, 2 try assists, and created 4 line breaks for the Roosters. And as you mentioned, Speedy, he was presented with his jersey by Brad Fitley yesterday. And of course, in that 2002 grand final, Freddie took control of that game and helped the Roosters run away 30 points to 8 over the Warriors. Today, it is Sam Walker who takes control of this game and gives the Roosters a bit of breathing space over the Warriors with 18 minutes to go.
Yeah, all patched up after being targeted by Villasanti in that grand final. Freddie Fittler, once Morley weighed in on his behalf, able to take over down the stretch. It got awkward for Tupanua near that touchline, and then the big don't argue on Josh Curran, who doesn't know where to look at the moment.
It's nice with a little bit of defence there from the Warriors again. They're revved up again, so 20 to 8. It'll be next scorers in this game.
Birthday boy is back, wants to celebrate in style. 26 today is Lindsay. Crichton just keeps those legs pumping. Up over 75 metres run now is Angus. And there's Radley off the back of it. Decent set off the back of points. Now looking for Keary to finish off the job. Now Tenny Zalesniak summed it up nicely. They've been pumping it his way in this second 40, and too much going on there for the referee's liking.
Well, at least he's been consistent on that, just holding on a little bit too long. There have been a few penalties in this game. They've been too slow off the tackled player, or not letting go quick enough. So they've been consistent in that area.
Let him up now. Here we are. Wait.
Dragons against the Knights. Coming up next. Down at Wynn Stadium. And that tackle went high. He gave himself up there, Radley. Warriors can't believe there's no penalty forthcoming for that one, or a set restart. Nikorima just looking dangerous. Johnson. Reece Walsh. Great defensive read there from Nangama. Here's Katoa. Running into Radley.
Last tackle, here we are, Marcus, square, hold.
Last tackle, what can Johnson dish up this time? Little inside ball for Walsh right up the middle. Somehow shrugged a tackle or two. How's that for a kick? Remarkable for Wateni Zalesniak. The winger fell over. Reece Walsh, that is wizardry from the fullback. Right up the middle he went, and when all options were covered, he dropped it on the left boot and said, Dallin, help yourself.
They've decided to run the ball on the last there. The inside pass, Reece Walsh at full pelt. How would you like to have the skill to be able to do this? The crossfield kick at full tilt. There he is. Off the left boot, perfectly timed. Waitini can't believe getting the ball in that position. They slip over. The Warriors with a good little bit of footy took their star player to explode to set up that try. The Warriors are back in it.
Well, in the NBA, if that happens, they talk about breaking someone's ankles, and that's what Wateni Zalesniak has done to Tupou here. Shook him out of his boots with the dummy and the little move, shake of the hips from Dallin. But this work from Reece Walsh, you can watch over and over again. That kick is out of this world.
Yeah, that's unbelievable football from the young fella. He's got some class and skill. Queensland have got another good one there.
Well, now they need him to convert and make it 6 points the difference here ahead of this final stanza.
Just needed one of their guns to stand up. And we're talking about how good it was, the try there from Sam Walker down the other end, only 19. Well, Reece Walsh, I think he'd be much older, would he?
Both teenagers. Both 19 years of age and producing on this stage. Famous SCG. Roosters will soon be back at the old footy stadium across the way.
Put Wade Egan back on the field. They've taken Cody Nikorima off, so the starting number 9 is back on for the Warriors.
Taking every care with this kick, taking his time and drives it through. We've got a ball game with 14 to go.
Yeah, Reece Walsh and Sam Walker, both teenagers and both Queenslanders. And of course, Reece Walsh's name has been mentioned a couple of times about whether he could be making his Origin debut this year. There's some form concerns around Kalen Ponga, injury concerns as well. And young Reece Walsh, he almost made his debut last year for Queensland in Game 2. He actually picked up the hamstring injury in the captain's run and was ruled out at the last moment. He gets a chance to go up against New South Wales fullback James Tedesco today, and Reece Walsh showing what a potential game breaker he can be, getting the Warriors back in this one.
Walker is 26 days older than Reece Walsh.
Is he?
There you go, both born.
Was that from our stats men?
Confirmation came from our stats man as Adam Fanua-Blake is deemed to have made the error here. He is the captain, and he says, let's use that challenge.
We have a ruling of knock on in the play the ball from Adam. Warriors are challenging hand in.
Is it a frivolous one? Or has the captain been wronged here, trying to play the ball again as he was in that first half by Tedesco?
A bit hard to argue with the captain here.
Little hand in there from
There's a
Crichton.
hand in, that's a penalty. They'll win this challenge.
Has Crichton done enough for Alan Shortle?
Any intent to strip by the Roosters player?
He stripped it, he just knocked the ball out of his hands. And they're not allowed to do it. They'll win this one, the Warriors. Well, they should anyway.
The hand is clearly on the footy, and there's some force involved, isn't there?
There's no intent to strip by Angus Crichton. The challenge is unsuccessful.
He's knocked the ball out of his hands.
The challenge is unsuccessful. Okay, Warriors don't have a challenge. It's going to be a Roosters scrum team. Where do you want the scrum? On the 20? Okay.
I think that's a tough call.
Yeah, there's been some big moments for Nathan Brown to watch from up in that coach's box today. Think of the Arthur's potential try when Reece Walsh had it stripped from his grasp by Fletcher Baker, and now this one. Blocker thought should have been a penalty for the Warriors to march down the other end. Instead, Keary goes to work. Flat pass for Tupanua. They've tried that tactic all day, and the Warriors' defence has been up to it, keeping Tupanua quiet. Radley the decoy. Saluka for Fifita. No way through for him, but he took some men with him. Not many numbers out here for the Roosters, but enough for Sawali to try and get there, and the Warriors scramble once more. Brilliant pass from Walker, wasn't it? Now Manu. Kept alive for Radley. Quick hands to Tedesco. Oh, Nangama's hands weren't so good. Touchy had a good view of it, said it went backwards and then rolled forward. So it's play on for the Roosters. Here comes Keary. Crichton trying to crash through Harris Tavita, who had support from Aitken, importantly. Now Verrills to fire it back to Keary. Katoa was up quickly. Crossfield kick. Great challenge. Arthur's there to tidy up.
Knock on Warriors.
Knock on, they say, off Wateni Zalesniak, and there's no captain's challenge left.
Your scrum.
Gee, they've had a couple of tough calls there. Wateni Zalesniak thought that he'd knocked the ball backwards here. Neat little offloads there. Tedesco with the extra man. Well, that's play on there. The pass went back and then rolled forward. I think that's gone backwards there. So that's some tough calls, the Warriors.
There's an argument to say that Nangama pass went forward and then also rolled forward, but Touchy thought it was backwards or flat. And they've set up a deep attack here off the attacking scrum. They've already scored off one in this game, but Kosi wasn't having it a second time. Jammed in on Manu. Saluka Fafita. Takes some stopping, doesn't he? Keary calling the shots. Waits in front of those uprights. Gets a lovely pass. Held it up for Walker. There was no way through. He couldn't spin his way through this time. Collins moving it on, playing first receiver.
Tanyala, move! Foot to line.
Warriors defence under immense pressure here. Crichton, one-on-one tackle. Harris Tavita take a bow on a much bigger man in Angus Crichton. And now a bobble. And the Warriors get it back and they're still in the game.
Well, that's the best one-on-one tackle in the game here so far this afternoon. Putting under all sorts of pressure, Harris Tavita on a big back rower in Angus Crichton. And that's a great tackle.
We're coming up to tackle 5. Okay, the Roosters are challenging the decision of lost ball.
Can't take them with you. And both teams look to have burnt them in the last 15 minutes here.
Have a look up at the clock too, 10.5 to go. Here's Crichton trying to get to his feet. That's a dominant tackle. Trying to get to his feet quickly.
The little foot there, blocker.
Let's see if he does get up there. Is it deliberate, accidental?
The left boot of Adam Pompey.
Yeah. They'll win this one, the Roosters. Gee, they've had some luck.
You think he's deliberately...
Adam Pompey raises his foot and knocks the ball out. Luke making Angus Crichton lose the ball. The challenge is successful.
Captain's challenge remains for the Roosters.
Well, the way they've played this afternoon, the Warriors, you want them to hang on here, don't you? Don't any luck the last 5 minutes. So it's deliberate. What they do here.
You can trust Angus Crichton, can't you? And they will look to push it out beyond that converted try, and both goal kickers have been outstanding today. Tough one here for Walker from this side, but he's shown the ability to knock them over. 4 from 4 today. SCG record since 2019. They've won 19 of 25 games here. So hard to stop at this famous old venue. They've been in a grind today. The Warriors have made them work for it. This would be a handy buffer.
Here Hargreaves back on the field too to finish off his last stint. Young for Saluka Fafita leaving the field. I thought he was pretty good too. He's a handful.
Yeah.
Big strong fella. Jared back on to finish the game.
Almost the same angle as last week's clutch kick up at Suncorp that he celebrated with the finger in the air, did Sam Walker. Bends it back. How's the judgment? Right over the black dot with the right to left draw, and they've got that 8-point margin thereafter.
will be really interesting to see what Nathan Brown has to say in the press conference, boys. It's been a topic of debate in the NRL since Justin Holbrook raised it after a Titans loss about the rub of the green and whether it goes to the bigger teams in this competition as opposed to the teams that aren't necessarily up the top of the ladder. We've seen the Roosters get a few big decisions in this game. The Warriors will probably be unhappy with a few of them, so it'll be interesting to see what Nathan Brown thinks about it, because it's been some crucial calls that have led to the Warriors being up by 8.
Dragons against the Knights, not too far away from kickoff in that one. We'll be there live from Wynn Stadium right after full time here. Kind of an in-between kind of kickoff. Didn't go short to try and get it back 10 metres up the field. Kick it to Tupou, you're not going to get a mistake either. 22-14 with 8 to go. The Roosters have all of that experience to try and close this one out, including this guy.
Move together! Play the ball, Jared! Oh, wait!
Tupanua taking on Curran again and taking 3 tacklers with him for a good 5 or 6 metres after contact. Couple of hit-ups from Jared Warrior. Hargreaves played Radley through. And there was a runner off his shoulder as well. Now Walker, little kick back inboard. So tough on Walsh, who has to force it dead in the end.
Any chance that he grounds the ball, Satilli.
Did Satilli Tupanua score a try against the odds here? No, nowhere near it.
I want to see if there's a touch from Satilli and if he possibly grounds the ball.
See, he's got mixes his game up well, Sam Walker, with his kicking game. And just swap and change again. It's over that left-hand side. Little chip, perfectly weighted.
Was onside.
We know what Walsh was trying to do here. He scooted across ground. He covered a lot of ground to get there. He's trying to bat it dead in goal here. Well, he's trying to take it.
Was it backwards off Walsh and then touched by Tupanua, but off his leg only, so it will remain a dropout.
Reece Walsh loses the ball backwards. We're looking to determine if Satilli Tupanua knocks the ball on.
This would be handy for the Warriors if there's a little hand in here from Tupanua. It doesn't look like it initially.
Comes off his knee. He had a little bit of an air swing there.
Ball hits Satilli Tupanua's forearm, constituting a knock-on. We have a decision.
7 tackle set. The Warriors get a little rub of the green there, Jakey.
Overall, the Satilli Tupanua's arm has come in contact with the ball, and that constitutes
Well, let's hope they play a little bit of footy now. The clock's starting to wind down. 7.5 to go. They've got the energy. They've got to get up that other end.
Stand now! Marcus Square, hold!
Both of these teams in and around the bottom of the top 8 heading into this game. This is a live ladder now. The Roosters would go up to 5th. For and against would be boosted, and the Warriors would be on the outside looking in with their for and against going into the negative. That can all change in the last 7 minutes here. But they've gone nowhere on the first couple of plays. Roosters defence refreshed by the dominance of possession they've had in recent times, really muscling up here. Harris to Vida. And he's running out of room here. Poppy is in big trouble. Popped it back inside, and somehow they stay infield. Tidied up cleverly by Kosi. They look to shift it. Johnson. And the Warriors' defence up to negate any potential there. So they get to the last play. Johnson's been tackled. Has to be Reece Walsh to take over. Look at the height in that kick. Right above the Bill O'Reilly. Who wants it? Bouncing ball. Tupou goes up. Tap back. Second phase. And they're all offside.
Wade and Tanyala inside 10. Wade and Tanyala.
No arguments from the Warriors. We'll see a replay of when Reece Walsh kicked this one to confirm that plenty of those chasers on the right side were in front of that beautiful left foot kick.
Yeah, I think the Roosters knew that they were offside too, so didn't really compete for that football. To see the old Sean Johnson running the ball, only a couple of runs in this game, but legs are getting a little bit older now, but gee, he could explode. You'd love this sort of situation in years gone by.
8 penalties apiece in this one. Ziggy's been busy. Back on the angle goes Tupanua. No shortage of work rate from him. 12th time he's taken the line on. Radley. Collins, the birthday boy, trying to back his way over and celebrate with a try, and he might just have done it.
Well, that's the way to hit the ball at speed like that. We're talking about Bradley's ball playing.
I want you to check for a double movement, that he hasn't promoted the ball after it's come in contact with the ground short of the goal line.
Some sort of try if he does score here, Collins, on his birthday. He's about 8 metres out from the line there. Look at that leg drive that he's got. He keeps those legs moving and pumping. And does he spin out of the tackle here and slam the ball down? Walsh comes over the top. He keeps going. No, that's the end of the...
That's try time, isn't it?
Well, isn't it the end of the play when his arm hits the ground? I don't think that he's promoted the ball. Momentum in full speed. You could see if momentum's taking him over. It always looks different when you see it in slow motion.
Just looking to determine if there's a slide into the end goal.
Let's see it at full pace. Does he? The ball, his arm hits the ground, and then does he promote the ball then?
Ball carrying arm of Lindsay Collins hits the ground. He then promotes it into the end goal. We have a decision.
So once your arm hits the ground, you can't promote the ball over.
Blocker Roach right on top of it.
But slow motion, it makes it, it's hard to tell.
Front rower's union blocker. You got the boy on his birthday. Give him that try, don't you?
I would have, yes. If I was up in the box.
So it keeps the Warriors alive. Got to be just about perfect from here, though, in the last 5.
Wait for the tap, guys. Just wait.
Conservative touch finder as well into that breeze.
Well, the problem is that Warriors haven't had any field position in the second half, have they? They've been working off their line. Not many attacking opportunities down in the 20.
Well, the magic of the premiership, that's real from the athletes who play it to the fans who love it. The best way to experience the premiership is live, and fans can secure their seats from nrl.com/tickets. Big weekend coming up next weekend. Chance for you to get to the footy if you can't watch it on Fox League.
That's what I was saying, Speedy. Tackled in the opposition's 20, 13 times for the Warriors, 27.
Oh, what a hit. It's that man again, isn't it? Victor, the inflictor. And the kick down to Suwali. Not much adventure there. The Warriors just about out of ideas with the lack of field position for them.
Yeah, here's the hit now. Talk about great hitmen from years gone by. Victor Radley reminds me of Bunny Riley. You mightn't have seen him play, because he could hit Bunny.
And Penne knows all about it.
Move together, Ewan. Hold. Go 3.
Tupanua again. Got through the first tackle. Left a Warrior in his wake. Clutching at a knee and lower leg in back play. Concern for the Warriors at the back end of this contest, because look who's down. It's Sean Johnson really struggling to get back to his feet, hopefully stretching out some cramp right now, but it could be worse than that. An ambitious attempt from Walsh to take one over the top, and he's knocked it on.
He's got some ticker, hasn't he? Reece Walsh attacks the ball, just didn't come away with it that time.
Here's what happened to SJ. That knee on knee. Tupanua high stepping, and it might just be knee on knee, and hopefully just a bruising kind of situation.
He's worked away tirelessly, hasn't he? Tupanua. As you said, they've contained him pretty well, but he has kept coming.
Yeah, no structural damage, just the shock of it all when you get that knee on knee and the pain goes through it. It's okay to continue, and Warriors fans breathe again. Such a tough fortnight for them. We've got the Storm in Melbourne next week in the Anzac Day traditional night game. And after this one, we'll be off to Wollongong. The Dragons against the Knights.
There's Ricky Stewart sitting in the stand there. A little bit more relaxing for him.
We've got Craig Fitzgibbon as well after last night's game between the Sharks and the Storm. Here's Tedesco angling and popping it up, but no way through. So Joey Manu's had a quiet game by recent standards, coming off back-to-back doubles, including 2 from dummy half last week against Brisbane. Tedesco stays right-hand side, and he demanded it and received it. And now he's going backwards. Clock very much in the Roosters' favour. And they finish it off in style. Keary, double pump again for Manu, coming across on that left-hand side. And he'll play it on the last. Little kick in behind, looking for Waria Hargreaves. How's the slips catch? He was trying to run his way out of there, Katoa, but he's got the backup plan of the 20-metre restart.
Here's their last chance now for the Warriors. In this set, they started quickly. Quick restart from them.
Kosi off the wing and running into Radley and company. Roosters defence up really quickly here, and trapping and scrapping was Tupanua. And Gama looking to latch onto it.
It's been a tailor field position here for the Warriors in the second half. They just haven't been able to get in a good position. And it looks like the Roosters have done enough.
Big shift to the left-hand side. Pompey, legs tackle from Joey Manu. Just does the little things right, and he can give up a set restart in the final 30 seconds. Not going to make one iota of difference. Flicked out the back. He'll be asked to play it here for Newell Blake.
Your ball there, Adam. Play the ball.
Somehow Curran has seen out the 80 minutes.
He's been in the wars, hasn't he, Curran?
Johnson, final play here. Reece Walsh has dazzled already. Crossfield kick, and look who's there to finish with the ball in his grasp. Happy birthday, Lindsay Collins, 26 today, and he is a winner. 20th anniversary celebrations for the Roosters of that 2002 grand final success can go on long into tonight. They're winners today and improved to 4-2 full time against the gallant Warriors. It's the Roosters 22-14 winners.